They told her she was too old. They told her it was too late. They told her to be realistic. She was 45 years old, a single mother of 2 teenage boys, working 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. She had no college degree, no business experience, no safety net, no plan B, just a dream she'd been carrying in her heart for 20 years. And everyone around her said the same thing, maybe in your next life. But Sarah Chen didn't listen, and what she did next didn't just change her life, it rewrote the entire playbook. This is a story about a woman who decided that 45 wasn't the end, it was just the beginning. Let me take you back to March 2015. Sarah Chen is standing behind the counter of a 24-hour gas station in suburban Phoenix, Arizona. It's 2:47 a.m. She's been on her feet for 6 hours. Her back is killing her. She still has 3 more hours until her shift ends at 6 a.m. And then she goes directly to her second job, cleaning offices downtown. This was Sarah's life. 7 days a week. No breaks, no vacations, just survival mode. 20 years earlier, when she was 25, she had a dream. She loved baking. Her friends used to beg her to bake for their parties. Her coworkers would pay her to make their birthday cakes. Everyone told her the same thing. Sarah, you should open a bakery. But life had other plans. At 26, she got married. At 27, her first son was born. At 29, her second son arrived. And somewhere between diapers and daycare, between bills and exhaustion, that dream of owning a bakery got packed away in a box labeled "Some Days." Fast forward to age 43. Sarah's marriage falls apart. Her husband leaves, and suddenly she's a single mother with 2 teenage boys, a mountain of debt, and 0 options. The bakery dream? That felt like a lifetime ago. A different person's dream. So there she is at 2:47 a.m. in that gas station when a customer walks in. An older woman, probably in her 70s. She buys coffee and a stale prepackaged muffin. As Sarah rings her up, the woman looks at her and says, "Honey, you look exhausted. How long have you been working tonight?" But something in the woman's eyes made Sarah tell the truth. "Actually, this is my first job. I have another one in 3 hours. I'm just trying to keep up." The woman paused. Then she said something that would change Sarah's life. "My dear, if you're going to work this hard, at least work this hard for yourself, not for someone else's dreams. You're young enough to start. You're old enough to succeed. What's your dream?" Before she could stop herself, Sarah said, "I want to own a bakery." The woman smiled. "Then what are you waiting for? An invitation. Consider this your invitation. Start now. Start small, but start." That conversation lasted maybe 5 minutes, but it planted a seed. She did something so simple yet so powerful that it changed everything. She baked 12 cupcakes. On her one day off that month, she woke up early, went to the grocery store with $40 from her paycheck, bought ingredients, and baked 12 cupcakes. She stood in that grocery store for 20 minutes debating whether to buy cream cheese or go home. 20 minutes over cream cheese. Her brain was screaming at her, "What are you doing? You can't afford this. This is stupid. You're 45 years old playing bakery," but she bought the cream cheese. And you know what? That $40 decision changed her life. She brought those 12 cupcakes to her office cleaning job the next day, left them in the break room with a little note, "Free cupcakes. If you like them, I take orders." Sarah, by the end of her shift, 11 cupcakes were gone. And she had 7 orders. 7 people wanted to pay her to bake for them. That week, Sarah made $180 baking in her spare time to $180. That doesn't sound like much, right? But for Sarah, that was proof. The next week, she made $240. The week after that, $310. Within 2 months, Sarah was making an extra $200 a month just baking on the side. She'd been so focused on the big, impossible dream of opening a bakery that she never considered she could just start baking. Strategy number 1, start ugly. Sarah called her business Sarah's Sweet Spot, which, let's be honest, isn't the most creative name in the world. Her logo, she made it herself on a free website in about 20 minutes. It looked like someone made it in 20 minutes. Her business cards, index cards with her phone number written in markers, and her kitchen. She was literally baking in a tiny apartment kitchen with a 15-year-old oven that ran hot on one side. Was it perfect? No. Was it pretty? Not even close. Did it work? Absolutely. Nobody cared about my crappy logo or my handwritten business cards. They only cared about whether my cupcakes were delicious. Sarah didn't have a professional kitchen. She started anyway. She didn't have business training. She started anyway. She didn't have startup capital. She started anyway. She was 45 with no safety net. She started anyway. Within 6 months, Sarah had over 50 regular customers. One of her regular customers, a woman who ordered cupcakes every week for her office, asked Sarah, "Have you ever thought about doing this full time?" The woman said, "What if I guaranteed you $2,000 a month in orders, just from my company? Would that help?" Sarah almost dropped the cupcake she was holding. Strategy number 2, serve one person incredibly well. That woman offering $2,000 a month wasn't just offering money. She was offering trust, so Sarah didn't just bake cupcakes for this woman's office. She created an experience. For every Monday morning, Sarah would deliver fresh cupcakes. She learned everyone's names. She learned their favorite flavors. She started leaving little personalized notes. Happy birthday, Michael. Made your favorite salted caramel. Congrats on your promotion, Jennifer. Celebrating with you. These weren't just cupcakes anymore. They were personal. They were thoughtful. They were someone actually paying attention. That office had about 30 employees. Within 2 months, 12 of those employees started ordering from Sarah for their own events. One guy, his name was Tom, ordered a custom cake for his daughter's quinceañera. It was Sarah's biggest order yet, 75 servings. She researched quinceañera traditions. She talked to Tom about his daughter's favorite colors, her interests, her personality. The cake wasn't just beautiful, it was personal. When Tom picked up that cake, he had tears in his eyes. He said, "Sarah, you didn't just make a cake. You made my daughter's day special. How much do I owe you?" And Tom paid her double. She wasn't in the cupcake business. She wasn't even in the baking business. She was in the making people feel special business. Word of mouth became her marketing strategy. Genuine care became her competitive advantage. By the end of year 1, just 12 months after those first 12 cupcakes, Sarah was making $4,500 a month from baking alone. At age 46, exactly 1 year after that gas station conversation, Sarah quit both her jobs. Her sons thought she was losing her mind. "Mom, you have a steady paycheck. Benefits, security, why would you give that up?" And Sarah said something that I want you to remember. Security is an illusion. I'd rather bet on myself than bet on someone else choosing to keep me employed. Strategy. Number 3, teach what you learn. 6 months after going full-time, Sarah was exhausted. She was making good money, about $6,000 a month, but she'd hit a ceiling. One night she was up at 2 a.m., ironically the same time she used to work at the gas station, fulfilling orders. Her hands were cramping. She thought, "I finally have my dream and I'm more tired than ever. There has to be a better way." So Sarah started a blog called Baking Dreams After 40. At first, nobody read it. Her first post got 3 views, and one of those was probably her accidentally refreshing the page, but Sarah kept writing. Every week she'd share something she learned, how to price baked goods, how to handle difficult customers, and slowly something magical started happening. People found her blogs, not just local customers, people from all over the country, women in their 40s, 50s, 60s who'd given up on their dreams. Then one woman commented, "Sarah, would you ever teach a class? I'd pay to learn from you." Sarah started offering online baking classes. Her first class had 8 students. She charged $97 each. That's $796 for teaching a 2-hour class online. She made more in 2 hours of teaching than she used to make in a week at the gas stations. Within a year, Sarah's teaching income exceeded her baking incomes. She created an online course that sold 24/7. She wrote an ebook called Never Too Late, Starting Your Dream After 40 that sold thousands of copies. Her students started succeeding. They'd send her messages. "Sarah, I just made my first $100. Sarah, I quit my day job. Sarah, at 52, I finally started my dream business." She wasn't just building a business anymore. She was building a movement. Today, Sarah runs a multi-million-dollar business. She has a beautiful bakery storefront that employs 15 people, but her real business is education. She has an online academy with over 10,000 students. She speaks at conferences. She's written 3 books. She's helped thousands of women start businesses after 40s. From 12 cupcakes to a multi-million-dollar empire, from too old to unstoppable, Sarah Chen is now 52 years old. She looks back at that 45-year-old version of herself standing in that gas station and thinks, "Thank God she was brave enough to start." Age is not a deadline. It's a credential. Every year you've lived, every mistake you've made, every hardship you've endured, that's not baggage, that's wisdom. You don't succeed despite your age, you succeed because of it. What's my version of 12 cupcakes? What's the smallest, ugliest first step I can take this week? Don't wait for perfect. Perfect isn't coming. Start ugly. Start scared. Start today. Sarah was 45 when she baked those first 12 cupcakes. She's 52 now, running a multi-million-dollar business and changing thousands of lives. What could you build in 7 years if you started today? So what are you waiting for? Your 12 cupcakes are calling. Until next time, remember, you're not too old. You're not too late. You're exactly where you need to be to start something extraordinary. Now, go bake your cupcakes, whatever they are. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, watch this next video where I share the story of a 58-year-old man who went from bankruptcy to building a tech company. His third strategy will blow your mind.